Hey everyone, this is Luke, and today we're going to go through the latest Iron Man 2 movie trailer and point out some of the things you may have missed when you first saw it. You can see here that in the 6 months that have passed since the conclusion of the first movie, Iron Man and Stark Industries have taken the nation by storm. Fans are chanting for Tony Stark, waving around water bottles emblazoned with Iron Man's face, as well as wearing replica repulsor gloves. It appears the Iron Man hype machine has a big marketing budget. Now Iron Man arrives on stage in the new Mark IV armor, landing in the now classic Adi Granov pose. Our first introduction to Natasha Romanoff, aka the Black Widow, working undercover as a notary to get close to Tony. And now we're given a look at the workspace of Ivan Vanko, aka Whiplash, where his obsession with Tony Stark is fairly evident. If you look right above the electrified whips here, you can see an homage to the Obama Hope poster. Now we're off to Monaco for the Grand Prix, and another example of Tony's Playboy lifestyle. And a full-on look now at Vanko suited up, quite different from his comic book costume.
Turned over to the United States of America. I am Iron Man. The suit and I are one.
If you look over Tony's right shoulder, you can see the beginnings of the storied Hall of Armor. Perhaps this is a newer, smaller, more powerful version of the arc reactor. Alright, and here we're introduced to Justin Hammer for the first time, and you can tell from the line of butlers to the fact that he's eating ice cream from a fancy silverware set that he's a bit eccentric. And here's our first look at Justin Hammer's mass production line of Iron Men. And you can see Tony looking over the design schematics for the new Mark V Iron Man armor, complete with triangular chest plate, which could be that new reactor he was working on earlier. And here's a look at Don Cheadle, who's replacing Terrence Howard as James Rhodey Rhodes, aka War Machine, in this movie. Now a better close-up look at the Hall of Armor. Notice how damaged the Mark III armor still is from the conclusion of the first film. Here's our first full look at the War Machine armor, seemingly created by Justin Hammer. Notice the military markings on the arm and chest. Now Tony's in his Mark V armor alongside Rhodey in the War Machine getup. Arriving on the scene are Hammer's Iron Men. You can count at least 3 different types of foes here, and again, notice the military markings and camouflage. And it appears as if all of Hammer's creations are robots and completely autonomous. You can also see that each of the different types of robots is a part of a different military branch. These camouflaged ones here are assigned to the Marine Corps. Here we see some unfortunate fellow from Hammer Industries try to mace the Black Widow, now in her more familiar comic book costume. Look closely enough and you can see this patch indicating that the Black Widow is indeed a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Now Tony's fighting someone who for some reason has stolen the Mark II armor. And it's only there for a fraction of a second, but you can see the folder Tony's reading from is from S.H.I.E.L.D.'s files.
Displays textbook narcissism. Read.
Very quick shot of some new armor, which we'll get a better look at in a few seconds. Yeah, and here's a great scene of Tony putting on his travel armor, which we got a brief look at earlier. It bears a striking resemblance to the Silver Centurion suit from the 80s. And that's about it. Can't wait for this movie to finally come out. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check back on thequarterbin.com and gamervision.com later for more frame by frames.